Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and welcome to part 2 of my 3-part video blog on the Winter Dance Party concert posters. Now if you haven't seen part 1 yet, you really should scoot over there and watch that before this. I mean, for one thing, I show you another genuine original poster from a week before this from Minnesota. But I go through all the details of the main body of this concert poster, including all the musicians. So you really should be sure to check it out, if for no other reason to go see another genuine original. Excuse this interruption, but in part 1 of this video blog, I actually ran out of time and was not able to show you the bottom of this poster in detail, including the last musician on there. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that segment right here in progress, and then we'll return to the Green Bay poster. And then down there bottom billed on the poster is Frankie Sardo, Extra Attraction, and his new hit, Take Out. Well, that's actually an atrocious typo, if you will. The darn song was actually called Fake Out. So, since it's such an obscure record and this is such an important poster, I'm actually going to play you a few seconds of Fake Out so you can hear it. Thank you, Frankie. So that's Frankie Sardo with Fake Out from a scratchy record, but what the heck, at least you can hear it. But, you know, Take Out and Fake Out, what a difference one letter makes. Just crazy. And then down at the bottom of the white margin and stuff, it does say GAC, which is General Artists Corp., by the way, and Super Productions. And in the lower right, Murray Poster Printing Company. So that one was not framed, but this one is beautifully framed, just wonderfully so. And I'm sure you've noticed that if you've seen the other blog, this is somewhat toned from sunlight or fluorescent lights. It was originally pretty jet white there, and now it's brownish, which of course doesn't really affect the integrity or anything of its appearance, just different from the Mankato poster. This one's from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Sunday night, February 1st, 1959. Boy, just to see that word February in there, we are so close now. And that date simply makes this the last ever Winter Dance Party concert poster that exists while everyone was still alive. Likewise, I suppose it's the last Buddy Holley concert poster ever. This was Sunday night, again February 1st. The tour then stopped in Clear Lake, Iowa on Monday, February 2nd, and there was no poster made for that gig. Only millions of wishful thinking bootlegs, and I very much go into that in part 3 of this video blog. Then after Clear Lake Monday night, the plane went down late at night. So this is it, definitely the last one, and the only one with February on it from when Buddy Holley was still alive. Boy, you know, the term piece of rock and roll history is thrown around a whole bunch in collecting memorabilia, but this thing in the Mankato poster, these are gigantic mountains of rock and roll history. So let's go ahead and come in for a close-up on the venue box up top. It's funny how the Riverside Ballroom in Green Bay, Wisconsin is boiled down to just one word, Riverside. Well, that's ultra-local advertising, of course, although people in cities 100 miles away probably knew where the Riverside Ballroom was, especially if lots of other events took place there all the time. In fact, let's take a quick look at the place, the Riverside Ballroom back then. I don't know if this was taken in the 50s or the 60s, but it's very typical signage of the day, and same thing for that striped awning over the entrance. And then on the grounds, I believe, not positive, I believe to this day on the grounds, look at that, a really nice memorial to the three fellows. We got Ritchie, of course, Buddy, and funny, Big Bopper there is actually holding a telephone. That's pretty cute. And then you've got Sunday, February 1st, both words abbreviated to make sure the letters are nice and large. That's followed by 8 to 11 p.m., in brush script font. And then we get into the really fun wording on this poster. Wow, no blue jeans or slacks permitted. I mean, how crazy is that? I'm not a clothing expert, but what does that kind of leave? Maybe that wording is just for girls, I don't know. But if you know, I'm sure you'll leave a comment below the video, please. And then how about this line? No intoxicating beverages will be sold. Well, that makes perfect sense. Everything's understandable except the parentheses. What are those doing on there? It's almost like someone was going to fill in, like beer or wine or something, but never did. And then in yet another type font, or at least a different type size, admission 90 cents before 8 o'clock and $1.25 after 8 o'clock. Wow, usually, ticket prices go up the day of the show, but here they go up the minute the show starts. And by 35 cents, remember back then, a hot dog and a Coke cost 35 cents and that would be dinner. So interesting, just really fun different wording on this. And then notice the Union printing bug that is also there in the venue box. So the Winter Dance Party Tour was a 24-day tour from late January into mid-February, that's what was scheduled, in one of the worst winters the Midwest had seen in decades. And so it was just ill-conceived from the get-go. I mean, the tour's route, its trajectory, if you will, was absolutely atrocious. Just zigzagging all over the upper Midwest in a cramped, freezing bus through the ice and snow. I mean, check out here their mode of transportation. Wow, right? Oh man. Now this was taken the year before because it does say 1958 on the bus, but this was definitely Buddy Holley's tour bus. Wow. And it was cold and drafty. I mean, one musician had to leave the Winter Dance Party Tour due to frost-bitten feet. Wow. Also, can you just imagine, today's pop stars traveling around on tour with their name emblazoned on the side of the vehicle? Oh man, they'd be followed and mobbed at every stop, for gasoline or whatever. But back then in the late 50s, it was just for teenagers only, so there wasn't that danger. It was just a good way to get the word out and create excitement. Okay, another fun visual aid to show you. Check this out. Here is the itinerary for the 11 shows that did happen before the crash. Oh my gosh, is this just crazy or what? How horribly planned. Oh my goodness. And remember, there was no money for airplanes back in those days in teenage rock and roll. The Green Bay admission, remember, was 90 cents. So flying was out of the question. You had to use wheels. But even if you had your own plane, this route would have been just pathetic, just crazy. And notice in the upper left-hand corner, Moorhead, Minnesota, there's no line to that city because that's the destination Buddy had chartered his plane to in order to catch up and get some rest about halfway through the tour. So these are the 3 states they did play in. Not shown are the 3 states that they never got to because of the crash. Those would be Illinois, Kentucky, and Ohio. Not a single day off in 24 days. 24 straight gigs. Wow. So that's about it for part 2 of my 3-part blog. Definitely leaves you, though, a couple of really fun things to show you over in part 3. For one thing, I'll show you the 4 other known examples of genuine original concert posters from this tour through photographs. And I'll also show you many of the bootlegs and reproductions out there to help you distinguish them from the true originals. It's a lot of fun, so hope to see you over there in just a minute. Thanks a lot. Take care.